Hi Capricorn, welcome to Get Life 333 Tarot. My name is Jackie. Thanks so much for joining me. For those of you who are cross-watchers and you watch the Scorpio and Cancer readings, I'm really sorry about the technical difficulties with the sound with that. I was having an issue with my mic that I didn't realize until after I posted. So rather than pulling them down, take whatever, you can from it, and I'm going to try to give a bonus video after I finish all the other signs. I feel really bad about that. And they were really solid readings. I felt very strong about them, so the message is there, but I'm really sorry about the wonky sound. I don't know, my microphone was it's Mercury retrograde. I'm a Gemini sun. Anyway, I'm doing a You're Not Together But You Don't Feel Finished read because I've done the end of April, beginning of March, and I feel like with this Pluto and Saturn transit coming up and us being asked to get rid of what we don't need anymore, but really embrace what we do that will serve our higher good, I thought that, considering I could see in the comments that a lot of us are in weird spaces in our relationships right now, so this might help to shed a little light for you guys. So that being said, I do want to say as a little caveat, guys, that this is not a reading for you if you are dealing with a full-blown narcissist, someone who's drugging and drinking a lot and serial cheater and lying and just being all kinds of a hot mess in your life and not bringing you any happiness at all. This is not your reading. That reading would be titled, You're Not Together, and thank God for that, because you can't, as I've been saying in the other videos, you can't mitigate a narcissist. You can't, it's like they were born with something that was broken in them at some point in their life. And I've been involved in those kind of relationships, and they're devastating, and they're very hard. But this is not that reading. This is if you guys were in a relationship and you guys have had a falling out, and you're not together anymore, and you're just in this weird in-between space, okay? This isn't for you, those of you who broke up years and years ago, or anything, it's, you were in a relationship and you're not together right now. And depending on the length of the relationship, it could be that you guys have been broken up for quite a while, right? Because if it was a marriage or a very long-term relationship, obviously the time plays a little differently in those kind of relationships. All right. So I have crowning energy cards here. It's the Wisdom of the Oracle. And then I'm pulling vice versa just to get a progression of events that have gone on and to see where you guys are at right now. And then at the end, I'm going to pull a yes-no card. So at the end, I'm going to have you guys ask that yes-no. Either are you guys going to reconcile, or are you guys going to stay broken up? However you want to structure the question. Just be very specific in how you structure it. And you will ask it 3 times, and I'll pull a yes-no card, and we'll have our answer. And guys, these are really meant to bring you some guidance. Hopefully it'll kick up some questions in your mind, maybe get you to look at yourself or the situation, your partner, a little differently, a little more clearly, and that's my intention here. So as always, general messages, please take what resonates, throw out the rest. Okay, so Capricorn, your crowning energy is the Yang card. Okay, so that's a masculine energy. Not that it, gender doesn't matter here at all. So the essential meaning here is indicating movement, a time of things happening. It represents action, energies that are going to propel you forward. So now's the perfect time to act. You can easily build momentum in any area of your life right now. So regarding the relationship, I'm feeling that you really want to really kind of get to the bottom of things and actually take the lead in trying to get to the bottom of things. You feel a lot of love for this person, absolutely, and you want to push forward in a way that's going to serve the relationship's higher good. Now, I can't tell just yet. I want to go through. I don't want to take everything in at once, if that means you guys staying together or not. But I am getting a feeling here that you want to make that happen, that you want to make a reconciliation happen. And you really want to, you have the energy and the want to push this forward, but you realize that you need your partner to do this. So this indicates a time of being mindful of any sort of impulsive actions. Like you don't want to push an issue that's not ready to be pushed yet. You don't want to be too aggressive in your approach, you know, because that would be that male energy. You don't want to be too aggressive. Think before you act, okay? Because you don't want to find yourself in a situation that is going to end up being more uncomfortable for you than anything else. So also, this does indicate that you want to remind yourself and be really clear on if what you're chasing and what you're going after is what you actually ultimately want, and that you're not going to be sorry if you get what you want. So you want to make sure that you want to be with your partner because you really want to be with your partner, and not that you want to reconcile with your partner so that you can have the last word, or so that you can have some part of your ego met. I don't mean to be harsh, and just I want to read the energy as it comes up and just give you this heads up. Seeing this is not at all a scary thing to me. I love this card for your crowning energy because it shows a willingness to go after something and a willingness to learn lessons if lessons are to be learned, if that makes sense. So yeah, just as you move forward though in this, practice temperance, practice diplomacy. Like don't go in saying, but you did this and you did that, and you know, you said this and you can't undo that, and all of that. Because guys, if you're going to move forward in this relationship, if that is going to happen, doing that is counterproductive. Nothing good comes out of that. That's not healthy communication, you know? So you just want to be careful that you handle things in a mindful way. And let's check out your partner's crowning energy is a change in the wind. I actually love this card. It's really cute. It's cute and pretty at the same time. So here, you know, I like this for your partner, I think. You know, it's human nature yearning for certainty and really resisting change. Like, and within the context of this reading, of getting your partner really does not want your relationship to be over. You know, this is not something that they really ultimately wanted. And they're trying to reason that out. You know, they understand that this is part of things sometimes, but they don't like the unknowing. They don't like the space that you guys are in. You know, relationships go through periods where, you know, people are out of sync with each other, and you go through breakups and you go through these stormy periods, and, you know, there's always that threat that the ship is going to be taken down for that final time. And, you know, even though this is absolutely divinely guided, you guys not being together right now is what you each needed. They resisted the lessons. They resisted needing to look at themselves in the mirror and really get hardcore honest with themselves. But they realize ultimately that the best thing to do is for you guys to be broken up right now, and you guys temporarily have a lull in the drama, so that some time can pass and you guys could each have a little bit of time to heal and look at what's really gone on. Because while they're not happy with the breakup, this does indicate that they knew it was necessary. You know, that there were conditions brewing there that they started to feel out of control with. You know, and they knew instinctively that the change was happening, and that if you guys were going to end up together, that a breakup or some sort of break had to happen, because you guys were, this indicates, on a road to devolving into a space where you guys would never be able to come back from. And that's absolutely what I'm getting here. But, you know, your partner is really, this crowning energy is this incredible belief in this ability to renew your relationship. Absolutely. Okay, Capricorn, I like that for their crowning energy if this is something that you want, because there's always that, you know. But let's get into talking about your energy and your progression of feelings here. So we're starting here with the feeling, the Seven of Pentacles. You feel the need to accept that this relationship is over. You know, I mean, once it ended, you knew you had to work on that acceptance. Not at all happy about it, but this says that you're making yourself kind of like, you're putting yourself in the, you put yourself in the post-mortem phase on the relationship, you know what I mean? Like a thorough and realistic analysis of what's gone on here, for real. Communication, support, money, compatibility, sex, all of it. And you're really looking at what really took place, right? And then we go into the Knight of Cups, so you've learned something about yourself, and that's how you recognize your desire to feel that there is in some way a quest that needs to be achieved in your relationships as a way to define your worthiness to be loved. So you want to have this goal that you're always working towards, not only with yourself, but with your partner. You know, or this could be how you consider your partner, but I don't think so, Capricorn, because that's very much how Capricorns are. You're a very driven sign, and you're very endpoint driven, if that makes sense. So you want to feel that you're working towards something together. And the thing is, if you look at this card, if you see this crab, okay, so crab is Cancer. Crab is the Cancer sign, which happens to be your descendant. And our descendants are frequently signs that we look to for advice. Okay, so that crab's not giving you very much advice. It's just telling you, don't drop your defenses right away until you know the direction of the relationship for sure. So this indicates that you are in a space of, you know, should we get back together? Should we not? Should I call? Should I not? You know, and you almost trying to figure out if you should in some way, and you were looking at it this way, sacrifice what you need and what you want for the sake of the relationship, and so you were in the space of confusion. So the crab is recommending that you don't drop your defenses until you know the direction of the relationship for sure. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So Capricorn, this is the game is over, and you've lost. I mean, this is what you were feeling anyway, okay, that you've lost. And I know that sounds harsh, but this can indicate that whatever you were in is over as it was, and that there's nothing that you can do about it except pick up the pieces. And you were absolutely feeling that. Like, what's done was done, you know? And you didn't see the value in trying to push something that you started to see as being dead in your mind. And then we have the Five of Swords reversed. So this is unnecessary conflict that you somehow became wrapped up in that wasn't your fault, may not have been your fault, and you may not see the reason for it, but there is one. This person is very selfish here and is trying to cover up their own confused incompetence by deflecting the blame and drama. And this only serves to highlight their ego, which ends up making it a lot easier for you to pull yourself away, because it becomes obvious to you that the issue isn't really about you at all. And it's going to give you the opportunity to use this situation to hold up the mirror to someone, you know, to their face, so that they can see how unfair they were being, or they've been. Okay, this is the evolution. So this was definitely, you guys had some conflict that your partner acted just all kinds of inappropriate, and so much so that it became obvious for you to hold that mirror up to them. So then you're followed by two pages here. One's upright and one's reverse. And when we have this indicates rivalry, Capricorn. Some kind of rivalry, either within yourself or with your partner. So on the one hand, the Page of Cups shows potential, positivity, desire to move forward, to express love. Whereas the Page of Wands reverse indicates delays, negative conversations that are relentless. You know, those relentless kind of conversations where like a topic isn't let go. It's just beaten down to the nub. You know, it's like, all right, already, we talked about that 50 million times, you know, that kind of thing. This indicates stubbornness, an inability to listen to others, also a fear of boredom, you know, that from you or your partner, okay? And that's what's being, so it's this rivalry of ideas. So this could indicate your conflict with them, or this could indicate your internal conversation. And guys, like always in general tarot readings, what I'm saying for you can absolutely apply vice versa. So this could be your partner, and what I'm about to say about your partner could be you. That's just the nature of general readings. It's too difficult to capture more than the archetype of the energy that's happening. Okay, so now let's go into what's going on with your partner here. So we're starting off with the Eight of Cups. So the pain of your relationship became too painful for them to stay. And this is what they honestly thought was the best decision given the circumstances. Even though they knew leaving would be hard, and it still is, they believed cutting their losses when they did was the right thing to do, knowing they'd be judged on top of having to deal with pain, you know. And then we have the Judgment card. So this says that once they took this break, they went through some kind of awakening, realizing that what they did was wrong, or realizing where they went wrong and where they handled things poorly. And this does indicate them really wanting forgiveness, and they want to be forgiven for whatever they did that would be considered, I don't know, like a human failing. All right, Capricorn, no one is perfect. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to or should forgive them, but this energy does suggest them wanting forgiveness. And then we have the Nine of Cups, and they're feeling clear about their hopes and goals for the relationship that they didn't see before, Capricorn. This says they aren't afraid of whatever it was that they were afraid of before. And they have very heavy support from the universe right now, so I really like that. If this is something that you're wanting, okay? Yeah, so they're feeling all of this, and at the same time, they have this Ten of Cups energy that's reversed. So this energy indicates it's positive, okay? But moving forward with you, they're going to have to move forward with some sense of discomfort, which is normal if you guys are getting back together, right? If you think about it. And that's the undertone as you guys try to get back on track, if that is your story. Or this can indicate them, you know, knowing that they're going to ultimately be happy, but they have to go through the discomfort of the feelings of hurt and pain from your breakup. One or the other. But there's this idea of something really good happening for your partner, but first having to navigate these feelings of discomfort. Now, this could go a couple of ways, though. They realize they have to address your relationship and whatever happened in the relationship. They totally realize that. But a lot of times particularly if we're in a longer term relationship, they also have to deal with those who are close to you in your life, your family, your friends. So some sort of addressing to them is going to have to happen here. And there might be some heated conversations with friends and family not in agreement with the reunion. And this is okay for two reasons. First, it's going to, your partner is feeling strong enough about you and your relationship to dismiss any sort of outside interference that might, that you might feel is going to threaten you guys. And really figuring out who to embrace, who's in support of the relationship and who's not, And then second, it's temporary energy. So don't worry about it. It's temporary. It's a minor arcana, so no big deal. And then we have two Knights of Cups. So the same way as we had two Knights of Pages inflecting each other, we have two Knights of Pentacles, two pages rather here. And we have the two Knights here. And I like that because when we have two Knights together, that indicates the opposite, where you're sensing this rivalry either within your own mind or with your partner, but there was definitely this feeling of confliction that you were feeling, and what your partner wants to come in and say is, no, I don't want you to feel that way, right? This Knight of Cups suggests that your partner wants to address and fix those feelings. They want to feel close to you. And they're so open to love right now, even if you don't see it, or even if you don't think that they're acting in the way that you think they should be acting for you. Capricorn, just make sure, the only thing I'm going to say here, the only little caveat here is make sure that what they're saying and promising about their epiphanies and promises is true. You know, action should match words right now. Love is a verb. It's not a noun. Do you hear that? Love is a verb. It's action. It's not a noun. It's not a thing for them to throw a bunch of adjectives in, like, I love you. You're beautiful, and this is beautiful, and that's beautiful, and blah, blah, blah. No, love is a verb. So just make sure that the actions that they're putting forward to you, changes that they want to make, things that they realize are actually going to be matched with actions. Okay, and then with the Knight of Pentacles, this says that your partner really does have a lot to offer you. Ultimately, they will be or are very loyal and dependable, though you may see them as being a little too slow to express their feelings. Maybe they don't express their feelings enough in the way that matters to you. Maybe they're a little too safe on certain subjects. And you might even see them to be a little boring, but a quality person who really wants good things for you. So, Capricorn, I have to say, like, they're there if you want them, ultimately. And I'm getting that very strong, you know. And I really want to just say this, okay. We have Jupiter going retrograde in your 12th house, which is the house of self-undoing. Why do I think this is important? Well, do you have a really good relationship here that maybe you might let go of? That could really be such a great thing in your life, Capricorn? That maybe you're hyper-focusing on the wrong things? I don't know. But Jupiter being in your 12th house is positive energy being brought into that space to support you potentially damaging yourself in a way. And this is happening in April, so, you know, going into this next month, if you guys are working on reconciliation, please be patient with it. You know, be patient. Now, in the same way, Jupiter could be supporting you getting out of this relationship. If you know ultimately, because guys, look, I don't know your exact situation. So if something happened that really was an ultimate deal breaker, even though you still love this person, being with them may not be the right thing for you. So you have to take the messages as they apply. I hope that makes sense. So Capricorn, ask that question 3 times. So you're going to ask either, are you, and fill in the blank of your partner's name, going to reconcile, or are you guys going to stay broken up? However you want to ask the question. Ask it 3 times. Okay, 6 of Swords. That is a no card. Okay, so that would be no, that you guys are not going to stay broken up if that was your question. Or this would be no, that you guys will not be getting back together if that was your question. So for those of you who asked no, who asked if you're going to be getting back together and the answer is no, Capricorn, that just means that even though this person might seem like a really great quality person, you're just feeling that this is ultimately just not the right thing for you. And the fact, and look, I do have to mention too, also with the yes/no cards, I do pay attention to whether they're a major or minor arcana. This is a minor arcana, so this is a minor no, so this indicates not now. Not now. It doesn't mean forever though, so you do need to understand that. But I am going to stick by the fact that unless the energies are flipped, and they very well could be, this could be you, this could be them, but either way, Capricorn, I'm getting 2 good people here. I'm getting 2 good people. But just because 2 people are good people does not mean that they're supposed to be together. Someone told me a saying one time that I think is so simple and silly, but fitting. You know, if you're feeling like you're never going to meet somebody who fits you quite well, there's an ass for every seat. And sometimes that seat might seem a little uncomfortable at first, but end up being the best seat that you've ever gotten. So I don't know how you can apply that, but I felt that that's relevant to say. So Capricorn, that's what I have for you guys right now. I hope this is helpful in sparking some questions internally and maybe getting you to look at things in a maybe a different way. Okay? Thanks so much for your time. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.